Well, I'm going to pick up on that debt figure because it is utterly extraordinary that debt will hit $1 trillion for the first time ever next year. Yet for this sickening and exorbitant expenditure, there's no vision, no agenda, and no lasting reform to show for it. Instead, the nation will sink deeper into the red, all so that Albanese can buy himself a second term in office. And that is the depressing reality of this fourth and unplanned budget. There's no overarching agenda here other than buying the Prime Minister time. It's a highly political budget with populist policies and election sweeteners designed only to win the next election. The meagre size of the tax cuts, as Andrew says, as little as $5 a week from July 2026, barely a cup of coffee. But this is almost irrelevant because it does give Labor something to sell hard during the campaign. And yet they will, at the same time, be ridiculed. As journalists pointed out to the Treasurer today, when Peter Costello himself announced a $5 a week tax cut 22 years ago, it was called piddling. And the family minister at the time, Amanda Vanstone, said it wouldn't even buy you a sandwich and a milkshake. And things are so much more expensive now. But the broader issue here is economic credibility. Labor's famous 2022 pledge that power bills would be cheaper has not come to pass. And so Australians will be sceptical of the energy relief announced today. And likewise, the $33 billion, $33 billion announced today to build 1.2 million new homes before the end of the decade, well, this just stretches credibility. It even comes close to being fictitious, given the $10 billion Housing Australia Future Fund still hasn't built a single new house in 3 years. Well, there's just no realistic path to Labor building 1.2 million homes in the next 5 years. And when I asked the Treasurer about this today, he even admitted it was ambitious. And then there's the commitment to lowering immigration. Well, just a year ago, the budget documents forecast that net overseas migration would fall to 260,000 people this year. That was the Prime Minister's pledge. But now, in the same financial year, net overseas migration will be 335,000. So that's about 75,000 more migrants at a time when housing affordability is a critical issue. Now, next year, Labor's promising that migration will fall to 260,000 people. But we can take all of these projections, like many others in the budget, with a pinch of salt. Now, what's even more concerning is that there's no attempt at fiscal restraint here, even at a time when the inflation challenge isn't over and the global risks to our economy from China, the trade tariffs, foreign wars, these are all growing. This is a time for a prudent approach to safeguard our future. But instead, there's a reported $67 billion in new spending announcements, and that's just over the past 3 months. There's a deficit of $42 billion next year, and gross debt is $940 billion this financial year. Now, economists will undoubtedly argue that this budget is fiscally reckless, that it threatens another inflation outbreak, which could potentially even see interest rates rise again. Now, if this happens, the Albanese government, of course, won't accept responsibility. They'll blame the inflation rise on global factors, Donald Trump, the Russia-Ukraine war, the Middle East, and China's weak economic conditions. But you can't walk away from the fact that our nation is now confronting the most challenging period in decades, from the enduring cost of living crisis to national security and global volatility. And this budget fails to confront these challenges. It's all about returning Labor to office. And this is a failure of the Prime Minister's. He hasn't articulated an agenda for our nation. His vision did not extend beyond the voice to Parliament, and he's floundered as leader ever since. And now his vision extends no further than the 33 days of the election campaign, and beyond that, his clifftop retirement home at Copacabana Beach.
Sharri, thank you as always.